So, good evening, Siddesh.
Good evening, sir.
It's glad to see you here. So, Siddesh is currently has passed out from JBIMS MHRD course, and he's going to join the industry. And but let's try to hear from it straightly. Okay, chalo. So, Siddesh, can you please brief us about yourself?
Yeah. So, as you know, my name is Siddesh. I am based out of Bombay. I have done my 10th, 12th graduation, post graduation, all of it from Bombay itself. I did my graduation in Bachelor of Management Studies, and I had chosen my specialization as Human Resources itself. Post which I joined Axis Bank for a period of 6 months as an HR intern. After that, I started to prepare for my MBA entrance exam. JBIMS was also one of them. Eventually, I managed to crack it, and after joining JBIMS, I had a lot of opportunities, or even privilege for that matter, to be associated with such industry-leading organizations like HPCL, ABFRL, Mahindra Logistics. And I recently finished my course in May 2023. Now I'm all set to join the industry very, very soon as a consultant.
That's great, Siddesh. So, Siddesh, did you specifically prepare for the JBIMS MHRD course, or did you prepare for the other management examinations like CAT, SAT as well? So, what was
Right.
your approach? Yeah.
So, as I mentioned, I did my bachelor's in HR itself. So, I was always an HR aspirant.
Right.
For every HR aspirant, this is their first choice. But eventually, even JB came up with their HR program. So, initially, I was preparing for tests. Later on, when JB introduced their exam, the pattern was somewhat similar. Like, even they have got GK and all of those things. So, I shifted from tests to JBIMS MHRD program because I found their curriculum course very, very interesting, and I thought that I can really make something out of it. So eventually I started preparing for my MHRD exam, and I managed to crack it.
Okay. So, Siddesh, you told that you were preparing for tests actually. So, what kind of problems did you face actually when you were preparing for the same?
For tests or MHRD?
Yeah. Yeah, for
Like,
tests. Yeah. If any, there were any problems which you faced, so can you share with us?
yeah. So number one problem that I feel every aspirant faces is that there is no proper guidance, right? Second thing that most of the people struggle with is quants. Uh,
Right.
Third thing is there are so many exams out there that you sort of get jumbled that which is the right exam for you and which is the right institute for you. These were some of my challenges that I had difficulty getting over, but eventually somehow I managed it with research and all of those things, and I got through.
Okay. So, Siddesh, how was your process? How did you go about this program at JBIMS? So, what were the procedures during the time?
So previously MHRD had a different process. Now they have started taking from CET, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So during our time, we had their own institution level examination, which had around 5 sections. It was GK, Quant LR, Group Dynamics, HR, Individual Behavior, consisting of 20 marks each, so 5 sections. Post which we would be shortlisted. After that, there would be SOP writing, there would be group discussion, and there would be personal interview round. And then you finally make it to JBIMS MHRD.
Okay. So,
That
is
was the
this
process
process
then. Right now,
still the same?
yeah.
So, is this process still
Right
the
now,
same?
they will. Right now, they will be taking from CET. As of now, they have not updated on the process, but I feel it could be the same, even for this year.
Okay. So, this would be the process in two stages. They will be shortlisting. First of all, they
Right,
will
right,
be
right.
shortlisting, and
Yeah.
second, they would be conducting that personal interview.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So, Siddesh,
I
one
had a
of the
word with
most
my institute as well.
yes.
Yeah, so I had a word with my institute as well regarding the
Sure.
cutoffs. So they are also deciding on the cutoff. So everything will be notified very, very soon to all the candidates.
Okay. So, do you have any idea approximately by when we can expect the calls to be out?
I did not receive, yeah, I do not receive any dates yet, but very, very soon. So everyone better start preparing.
Okay. So that's great. And the next up is a very interesting question. How was your experience at J? So, could you please share that with us?
Yeah. So JB is one of the dream institutes for every people, especially who are residing in Maharashtra, right? So I went to the institute and I got whatever I was expecting. The institute provides you with a lot of challenges. It tests you at every level. It does not matter what course you join. Uh, the level of rigorousness is same for everyone there. So the journey was quite good. It was a roller coaster ride for me. There were a lot of ups, lot of downs, but eventually I think that's the MBA life and you get through it.
Yes, right. So there's a lot of ups and downs during the MBA journey, as you say.
Yeah.
So, Siddesh, like anything specific you want to talk about, like if what could be the challenges an aspirant could face, and what will be your tips, like the tips from your end that you want to give our students?
Right. So, if I talk about the course is growing. The course is new, of course. Everyone knows this could be the fifth batch. I want to tell you that the course is really improving a lot. They do take student feedbacks and all of those things very, very seriously. Challenges that you might face is that it's a stressful thing. I mean, the whole journey at GBM is very, very stressful. So you will be roasted a lot by everyone. Even if I talk about the subjects, we have like 10 subjects every semester. Along in that, eight are proper subjects and two we have seminar papers, which are research based projects that are given to the students. You may choose the topic yourself, or if the faculty can allot you any topic. So everything here, it may also happen that you may feel that why am I doing this? What is happening? I have no idea. But at the end of fourth semester, everything will make sense to you. If I were to give you an example of that, we had one of our economics professor, taking seminar paper for one of the semesters in which he gave us a list of countries, asked us to do a critical economic analysis of that particular country, and asked us to find out what are the human development efforts that that particular country is taking. Initially, all of us thought that why are we studying economics so rigorously? Eventually, as time passed, we realized that okay, if things at macroeconomic level suffers, we as HR professional will not be able to take decisions and align the goals of organization and employees at the same time. Like let's for example, Russia Ukraine war, a lot of costs and everything went up, and me as an HR, I am going and I am saying that okay, I will give 20% hike to all the employees, and I am giving this presentation in front of CEO, CFO. They will bash me and fire me from the organization. So they put you through all of these things. They won't tell you what they are doing, what is the purpose. They just push you and they're like, figure out your way, do this, and then we will talk about it. So you get all of these learnings. Now, all the people from my batch have learned all the economic indicators that we can evaluate if we were to make decisions tomorrow when we join our organizations. So all in all, it's great. It's a great learning experience.
That's great. All right. So, Siddesh, now that we have talked about once you get into JB, what JB will offer you. But the first task of the students would be to get into this institution.
Get
So
into
could you
this.
please share with us like what all things or sources that actually help you during your interview or WAT process, rated ability test? So could you please brief us on that?
Right. So if let's start with the written ability test, right? The SOP
Sure.
writing. So at during our time, we had SOP. Uh, I was a student at Mock Zone, so I took help from the faculties at Mock Zone. Shivam sir helped a lot. Then I started to prepare my SOP around those lines, whatever tips were given by Shivam sir to me. Uh, After that, if I talk about PI, right? So there are questions that will really test you because they want to make sure that they take poor HR people into the institute. They don't want people who will just be there for the JV brand, and they will test you at that. You have certain tricks that you can use to manipulate your answers and answer in a way that they will believe you, right? Because there are going to be two types of people: one that actually want to do HR. There are going to be some who are there just for the JV brand, right?
Right.
So talking about PI, the questions that you need to really be well versed with is why HR, number one. Second question would be why JBIMS MHRD? Because there are premier HR institutes out there who are there in the industry since so long. If we talk about XLRI, if we talk about TIS, right? So, and comparatively, this is a very new course. So you need to have apt answers for this. You need to prepare for your introductions really, really well. Your introductions needs to have some hooks, using which the interviewer would be interested in your candidature as compared to any other candidature, right? You need to have a flow while you're answering. You can't hit around the bush a lot, because let me tell you very honestly, people at JB don't like hitting around the bush. They are very precise, and they expect this from the students as well. They expect this from the aspirants as well. Uh, they will grill you a lot, of course. So one of my advice would be, since there is still time, everyone just start meditating. That will really help you keep your calm. We have this misconception that grilling only means that they'll shoot you with a lot of questions or they'll cut you in between. But it could also be the opposite. They'll just give you silent treatment. They'll just keep staring at you and they'll just check your body language, right? So grilling could go both ways. If you meditate, if you have your calm, you will manage to answer a lot of questions really well, right? Another PI tip I would give is clear your basics of HR. I did my bachelor's in HR itself, so I had a little bit advantage because I already knew what are the basics of HR, what particular department does, what does that department do, what is the outcome of this. But if you are not from HR background, or let's say if you even come from work experience and have never worked in HR, so you need to know the basics because it's a master's degree, right? You can't just go to a master's degree interview without knowing at least the basics of it. Uh, another thing that I would tell the aspirants is that study labor codes, the basics of labor codes. Even if you don't study them rigorously, because they don't expect you to know everything, you are going there to learn, right? So labor codes, what are the four labor codes? At least two to three things that come under each labor code, right? Don't hit around the bush a lot, because that will really affect your candidature as such. So these are some of the things for PI. Material, you can use online material, or I think Mockzone also provides some material. So you can easily manage with that material. You just need to know what HR does. And please don't say things like, I am good at people management and I am good at this, and that is why I want to do HR. These are not the acceptable answer that they will be expecting. Because I have seen candidates do this mistake, that just because I am good at people skill, I'm good at communication, so that is why I want to do HR. Give a precise, concise, proper answer that, okay, this is the reason I want to do HR. This is the reason, this is the difference that I want to make in the industry. Or let's say, for example, they might also ask you, what does the future of HR to you looks like? So you also need to be well versed with these sort of questions. Like the future of HR is now moving more towards employee experience. It's moving a lot towards AI, ML. So answer around these lines and don't say things like, I'm good at communication, I'm good at people, good with people, so I want to join the course. Now
Right.
coming to group discussion, so the trend that I have understood from the GD process that has been happening from the last 4 batches is a lot of topics revolved around AI, machine learning, and HR, right? But additional tip that I would give is that stay updated with the current affairs that is happening, at least for the last 15-20 days, and along with that also prepare for some major issues, because it may happen that this time there could be a little shift, since they made a shift in examination, so there could be a shift in the topics as well. uh, so yeah, majorly focus on HR, right? HR in this scenario and HR in that scenario. I think that should get you through.
Okay, so Siddesh, this was very thoroughly explained. Quite an insightful thing for everyone listening to this. So, Siddesh, overall, if you have to describe your journey, so in 2 words, if I say, so what would that be?
Words.
Yeah.
I would say roller coaster, of course,
Okay.
and uh, insightful. The journey has been very
Okay.
insightful, because my perspective on a lot of things have changed over time ever since I've joined the course. It has helped me think differently. Previously, I used to think, okay, this is this and that is that. Now I'm like, okay, there could also be a third side to this.
Right.
So I think these two
Yeah.
things. That's my journey.
So yeah, so Siddesh, you are a very, very good example as to like if you do not get into the initial phase of your entrances like the test, or if you write or appear for the SAT examination. So if you don't get through it, there are institutions or examinations like these through which you can get into the top branch. So life gives you the opportunities and you will have to grab it from both of your hands, right? So Siddesh, it was very wonderful talking to you and quite an insightful interview for the students listening out here. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I would also like to add something
Sure,
before
sure,
we end this discussion. This is for all the aspirants, and this is not just for JBMS MHRD exam. This is a
sure.
very general advice. Take it as your brother, as your peer, as your friend, whatever you want to take it as. Uh, don't lie to yourself ever during this journey, because when you know something, you know something. When you don't know something, you just don't know something. Don't study for 10 hours. Don't study one chapter for 10 hours and then start convincing yourself, no, just because I did this chapter, that this chapter supports that chapter, so I've done that. No, you did not do that. Because with Fluke, you can manage maybe once or twice. Let's say you can crack a college with Fluke, you cracked your summer placement with Fluke. But this thing will catch you in your final placement. This is one advice for all the aspirants. Do not lie to yourself. Be truthful. If you don't know something, work upon it. Don't force yourself to, be a part of peer group and, try to act smart. That even if you don't know it well, so just prepare, work, polish yourself. I think that is why MBA is there. Really upskill yourself. This was my advice before we close.
Great, great. So, Siddesh, thanks a lot for sharing your wonderful journey. And we hope that and we wish you all the best for your future endeavors, actually.
Thank you so much,
So,
sir. Thank you so much.
yes, so all the very best, Siddesh.
Thank you so much.
That's
All
it
the
for
best to all the
today's.
candidates.
So that's it for today's interview session with Siddesh. Thank you.